Hey, Katerina, how's it going? First off, I want to thank you for posting this project. This is an extremely exciting project. I'm very excited. I keep saying excited. I'm excited to see where this goes and where you take it because I think it's off to a great start and I think you have a lot of potential here. So I want to talk about your reference first and then I want to go through kind of shot by shot because I want to establish what your goal is. And the way that you laid this out is great because you establish a very clear cut goal of what you want so I can have a vision of it and then everybody else who takes a look at it can have a good vision of what we're trying to achieve here. So your look will change over the course of the shot. Overhead lighting needs to be cooler and greener, and then the surrounding areas are a little bit less filled to feel isolated and scary. I think the reference you picked is extremely good. I love Bao. I love these extreme vignettes where it's like very tight focus. This next one here, like extremely tight focus around the food objects or the objects in the character's hand. I think that will go a long way with helping you achieve the look that you're going for. And this kind of, because all of your shots in your animated short are little vignettes. They're little. There's not like a big camera movement or big sweeping thing, which is great because you can really focus in and hone in on the action and what you want. Now you're talking about the look changing over the course of the shot. There's the greenish at the beginning, and then we're kind of get towards the end, and I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit warmer. The good thing is that you have this window light coming in, and we'll talk about this here in a second. So you can use that as a driving force for changing the look the way that you want to for this shot. Love the glows, love the softness of this. I think that you are really in the right page, and I think you have a good strategy. It's now just a matter of implementing it. So let's talk about the individual shots here. So this first one, sorry, let me pause these and go one by one. So this first one allows you for an opportunity because you've got this window back behind it. And whether it's overcast, sunny, morning, whatever the case may be, it's going to be bright back there. So you're going to have this kind of bright layering over dark foreground. So you're going to want these dark shapes because again, if you're setting the mood to be kind of ominous, you want these dark cleaver hits to be coming down on this mysterious thing, and it's sometimes nice on the first shot to keep it a little bit mysterious, but I'll leave that up to you. But I would definitely do this as a light over dark. You could consider, because there's some lines kind of cutting through the main action point here, you could consider dropping the window down a little bit so it's all back behind it and the window acts as a framing element. But I don't think that's necessary. You can also just use this to kind of create a glowy, bright area back behind it. So like all of this area, anything back behind the table, it's kind of a white, bright wash, and everything in front of it is a little bit darker, and then we're reading it that way. Let me talk about this in a sec, so I'll keep going. So I think this next shot is great. I love the way this is setting up. You've got the overhead light kind of coming down here, creating this vignette in the area. You could even focus it in even closer. Like, we don't necessarily need to see his hand over here. You can start the fall off in this region and falling off a little bit. It looks like you already have that, but I think we can even go darker over here and really keep the attention in this region, in the region where the action's actually taking place here. So let's go ahead to the next shot. Again, this is just really nice top-down shaping. One of the things, and you have this more later on as you're going through, a sense of the light coming in and kind of a shaping here on the background. I would just push, I know if it's going to be a little bit creepy and a little bit less happy, but let's go ahead and push a little bit of light in so there's a variation from left to right. Make sure you're getting that. The really good thing about this is that you have a lot of objects in the background so that there's a lot of things to pick up light and a lot of opportunities for shaping, like these sausages, these pots and pans and such. There's nothing worse as a lighter than a completely flat background, so like a flat wall back there, because that makes it trickier and less. So you've got a good setup and a good structure here for some cool lighting opportunities. And again here, so we got a little bit brighter, and again, this is such a great opportunity to do that bow stuff that you were talking with, like just some really not exaggerated, but really intentional vignettes of each one of these objects. So really focusing in, allowing these edges to go darker, because we've already established the look of the light of having this top-down light. and this, there's implied time cuts here where it's not, this is a montage, so there's no real knowing exactly on the table where each of these objects are. So there's no reason why we couldn't put the vignette right on them, really focus them in, really get them here. I love the scale of this shot, his giant hands with the knife versus the avocado and the cutting board, like a cutting board fitting into his hand there is really nice. And then same deal here. Now you've kind of bookended a little bit with a very similar shot to the very first one, and one of the things that we can do again with this transition is use this bookend as an opportunity to really demonstrate the light changing. So if it was me, I would start off as like, this is kind of a hazy, overcast, gray to saturated day out there, and then here is that bow. It looks like you're already kind of setting up for that bow, glowy, happy. You just want to make sure to not see any of the darks in this area. Again, glowiness back there, and allowing the darker shapes to step forward here, and then finishing up here. Again, really nice shaping coming in here. You can go ahead and allow this area to get a little darker, and then just kind of vignette even more here on the main table. But all in all, I think this is really really well done. The one thing about even the overhead stuff, like, you're gonna have the opportunity to play with the amount of bounce light, and that's really where a lot of your mood's gonna come in as well. The amount of fill light underneath him and the amount of top-down light is really going to be a major influence, versus here where you're going to really want it to be nice and bouncy and glowy and happy in this environment. So I think you're off to a great start. I think you're doing everything well. The only if you're going to be presenting these for, like, because you said this is a project, so if you're going to be presenting these slides, one thing that I would consider doing is eliminating these just like a corner of just like notes up in the corner. It's so funny. My eye, I always, maybe it's just me because I'm attracted to images and I've got no attention span anymore, but I'm like, my eye immediately is going to here and to here and to here, and I'm just like completely ignoring reading this. I don't know if that's just me. So I would figure out a way to infuse the notes into the images by, like, you do them like here, right? And you're pointing to this. I would make the image bigger, make the images pretty much take up the full thing, and then allow these to layer over the top, and then you use arrows to point, like, color of shot, and then like softer light, and kind of point to like a soft point, or talking about the window light and like pointing and then drawing a square around the window or something. I would infuse the text in the images. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, again, post them here. I will be happy to go through anything with you. I'm really excited about this project. I'm really excited about the progress that you're going to make and the ultimate outcome. But yeah, keep posting, keep us updated, and we can't wait to see where you go. So happy lighting.